Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Just Saying Football with Jack and Sean. I'm your host, Sean Gann, alongside my partner, Jack McNicholas. We're here to bring you news, notes, weekly updates, and game analysis of your favorite teams from around the league. If you haven't had the chance, go check out our website, justsayingfootball.com, and follow us on Instagram at JustSayingNoGWJS for article and video updates. Another great episode today, Jack. We have the co-winner, opposite of Garrett, who won the Just Sayings ESPN 2021 Draft Day Challenge. Christian DiDonato, friend of the show, friend of us.
Yeah, we're going to bring him in now. You know, Christian won the challenge, as you said, and a co-champion. So he is going to get his own discussion right here. And we got Christian right here.
Congrats, man. Congrats. Yep. As everyone can tell, Christian is a massive Cowboys fan. We got the Romo Pro Bowl jersey in the background. I love it.
Got a couple Super Bowl banners.
Wouldn't know that. My team hasn't won one.
Yeah, probably from before we were born and stuff. But
yeah, last one was year I was born. I'm a curse. I'm a curse to the Cowboys. It's very sad.
Yeah, so talking about the Cowboys, we're going to go right into their draft. You guys were able to trade back a couple spots, get, let the Eagles get Devonta Smith so the Giants couldn't let him get it. But you guys wound up with Micah Parsons. How are you feeling about that in the first round going forward?
Well, I'm feeling great about it, but during the draft, as you know, I was very nervous once I saw that the Cowboys were trading the pick. I was like, what's going on? And then I was like, oh, no, the Eagles get it. They're going to take Devonta Smith. The Giants are going to take Micah Parsons.
Yep.
So then I was like, who am I going to get? So then the Giants ended up trading to the Bears, which was a great decision by the Bears to go up and get their quarterback, Justin Fields. And I got Micah Parsons, and I'm happy because who knows, with last year's linebackers, the stars of Jalen Smith and Van Der Esch, I mean, he can't stay on the field. Jalen Smith, I think he was just kind of put in the wrong scheme. I think Quinn will have a better chance with using him for his abilities that he actually has. So I'm very happy with Micah. I think he's going to tear up Danny Dimes. It's going to be a great one. And another thing on the draft is another steal I think the Cowboys got was Jabril Cox. Because I said, if Van Der Esch and Jalen Smith don't work out, got two replacements.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye. So
I mean, Van Der Esch's fifth-year option has got declined, so it's looking like, they're saying we're ready to move on from you. I think he played 10 games 2 years ago, then he only played 9 games last season. You're right. He just hasn't been on the field, and when injuries like that happen, you got to draft in a position to get Micah Parsons, and a guy like that, line linebacker, can definitely play in the coverage, is not afraid of the run. It could mesh really well. You just mentioned the Cowboys and Eagles trade. How did you feel like actually trading with the Eagles?
I was terrified. I didn't know what was happening. I was actually on FaceTime with Jack, and I was like, what is going on? I was like, what are they thinking? I was like, how could they trade with the Eagles of all people?
Yeah.
And I think everyone was probably thinking that. I mean,
definitely was.
I would say that was probably my biggest surprise of the draft, honestly. Yeah, I mean, there was some other surprise, but for me as a Cowboys fan, that was the biggest surprise, because who would think Jerry's going to be sitting on his yacht and trade with the Eagles? Like that, that's just not going to happen. But it did.
I never would have guessed it.
It did work out for the best of both of us. Fortunately, the Giants didn't get Devonta Smith to pair up with Kenny Golladay, but
they did get Kadarius Toney. I'm excited about that. I think he's an absolute weapon. I think that it kind of helps us out with how much money we're paying Sterling Shepard, and if we have to pay Evan Ingram, giving him, giving Daniel Jones just an incredible, worthy amount of talent here for him to prove himself. It's going to be a good battle next couple of years with the Cowboys. I think we both, like you said, wound up with the right guys. We also wound up with an extra first. Can't be mad about that.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, but going forward, one guy on your team, Dak Prescott, got some money this offseason and a whole lot of
bit.
Just a little bit of money.
Tiny little contract.
Not too much.
So give us your thoughts on that. How excited were you? We've talked about Dak for a long time. I remember when he got drafted, me and you were actually together years ago. So how do you feel about him now, 5 years later?
So
he's got the contract.
How I feel about him now, obviously you can see in the back, I have my Romo Pro Bowl jersey. So Romo fan till death. Love Tony Romo. but I do think that Dak is I think he's gonna bring us the Super Bowl that we've been waiting for. I don't know when. I don't know if it's this year. I don't know what year, but I do think Dak's gonna come back stronger than ever. I think he proved himself. I mean, he bet on himself and he was putting up record numbers. I mean, he probably would have won. Maybe he would have won MVP. Who knows? I mean, he was putting up record numbers. And I mean, I think he proved himself, and I think he has a lot more to prove. And I'm excited. I mean, he has CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper. He could have had Kyle Pitts, but I guess not. Zeke, I mean, Zeke, terrible year. Really.
You think he's gonna bounce back?
I do. I think I think we're gonna be seeing a lot of this. A lot of spoonfuls. Oh yeah.
You think it was because like Dak went down that the kind of play decline? Like you think he didn't have like his guy anymore, and or do you think it was the offensive line, or was it just like the off season, or what do you think was the issue, man?
I really think it was a combination of all things. I mean, it was a crazy NFL season, as everyone knows. No one really got to train with anyone, and kind of Cowboys brand new coach Mike McCarthy didn't have time to really put in that system that they want. So this really overall as a Cowboys fan is a big year. This is either should Jerry have gone out and got the young gun Lincoln Riley as a coach, or is he correct going with the old guy Mike McCarthy? I think this will be a really telling year, but I do really believe that Zeke is going to have a big comeback. I hope so. I mean, I hope to get him in a fantasy draft too, because I think he's going to be putting up numbers this year, and people aren't going to want him. So I'll be glad to take him.
Yeah, from a fantasy standpoint, Zeke's definitely dropping right now. I've been seeing him teetering. Me and Sean actually had a discussion about this recently about Zeke, about fantasy next year. You know,
is he a top 10 pick or is he not? Like, is he going to kind of be on the edge there on like the fringe is more of like your 8 through maybe like 15-ish pick just because of the production last season? But we did some research. Most places still have him going as like the 7th guy.
Yeah.
So
I'm comfortable with that. I can't say he's top 5 right now. I don't think anyone would really be comfortable taking him top 5.
No.
So I definitely think he's top 10 though. I'm not going to disrespect him like that. I mean, he really did not live up to his contract. He also got a little bit of money, and he didn't really live up to it. So.
Yeah, I mean, his drop off, it's crazy. You know, he wasn't averaging, under 84 yards per game in any of his seasons up to that. And then last year, 65 is a huge drop, 20 yards per game down. I think that he does need to pick that up next year. We see the volume there, and that's a big thing for fantasy and overall just how much do they get the ball. With Zeke, I'm expecting a big season, but I think it's going to take him some time. He's going to have to, like you said, get used to this scheme. I think they're all going to have to get used to that. And they have a lot of weapons that they're going to have to be able to distribute it around in the pass game.
Absolutely.
Even Tony Pollard. I mean, Tony Pollard was a beast last year. He really was.
Yeah.
I mean, he's quick. He gets away from guys. Like he's a good running back. So, I mean, if Zeke doesn't have a good year, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, your offense is looking pretty solid coming up. You guys got tons of weapons. You mentioned them earlier. You guys think you got a chance to win the NFC East outright? You guys think that the Washington's going to put up too much of a fight? The Giants might put up too much of a fight? The Eagles
who does Washington have as a QB?
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
And Taylor Heineke.
Yeah, I don't know about Washington putting up too much of a fight. They do have a good defense.
Really good.
I don't know. And then look at the Eagles. They've kind of just been falling apart. They did make a good pick in the draft, but I don't know. They're having a quarterback competition between Jalen Hurts and I believe Joe Flacco.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
I don't really know how you have a QB competition between those two.
Oh my God.
And then we go to the Giants, who I respect, but I don't believe Danny Dimes should be called Danny Dimes. I don't think he's proven that he throws good. I don't think he's good enough to be called Danny Dimes just yet. I mean, this is a big year for him.
Yeah, I call him Danny Danger. I mean, I think that it's just like because it's like he's not Danny Dimes, but he can be dangerous. He's capable of, running this offense. And there's just so many things that kill us in games. We could be up by 10 and fumble the ball, and then our team loses confidence. Having all these weapons and having Saquon don't matter when things like that. And that's what being a quarterback's about. It's a big pressure. So I'm hoping that he steps up with all of that. And, I think that the NFC East overall is very tough right now. I think, just everybody has and tough in the sense that it's not high competition. Sean's looking, but it's more tough because, it's hard to analyze these teams because they could all have great off seasons and still go 9 and 8 next year.
Look at last year.
Yeah.
There was a battle for the worst team in the NFL practically. The division, it was crazy. But like you're saying, it's always competitive. All those games are competitive.
It will definitely be competitive for sure, I think. I told Jack this a couple weeks ago when he asked me who I think is going to win. I will still lean towards Washington. I think the biggest problem with the Cowboys right now, and it's the Achilles heel of last year, is your defense. And you guys went all defense in the draft with the exception of one pick, which was smart. That was your main needs. You didn't need any playmakers. You didn't need any running backs. You don't need a quarterback. You don't really need offensive line with who you got. So it made sense you guys did that, but I still think you guys are like a year or two away from really being that force. And I think what you see with the Giants and Washington for sure is strong defense. With a not so great offense. As far as we know, both teams made some moves and things can change in the offseason with the right scheme and the right playmakers. But I still think you guys are just a year or two short away. But I will say this, your offense is good enough, I think, can keep you guys in a lot of games. You guys are taking the Brooklyn Nets mentality. If we just have enough playmakers and we can just put up more points, and it doesn't matter what our defense will do as long as we can put up 42 a day.
Yeah,
I just hope the Cowboys stay more healthy than the Nets, though.
Okay. All right, look, don't come at my Nets right now. I got the Vikings and Nets to deal with. Let's not get into that. Let's hear your win prediction for the Cowboys that you're very confident can win the NFC.
All right, I have not had too much time to go through who they are playing, but their opponents. I'll go right now. I'll go Giants win, Eagles win, Washington. I'll go win. Cardinals is tough. I as a Cowboys fan, I want to say win, but I see some later games, so I'm gonna say we'll take the L there. Kyler Murray, the defense, he'll tear up that defense if they play the same as last year. But Micah Parsons could be all over him. Broncos, who knows? Maybe they have Aaron Rodgers in a couple weeks.
Assuming I would love that, but let's take the rosters as is right now.
Yeah.
Okay, Broncos W.
Okay.
Raiders W. Falcons W. Panthers W. Giants W.
In real honesty.
Just to let everyone be updated right now, we're at 8-1 for the Cowboys season right now through 9 games.
Wow, yeah, but don't know the order of that too. Either.
Yeah.
What about the other ones?
Eagles. We'll take the L against the Eagles once.
Yeah, they
probably take an L against Washington once, division game. We're not losing to the Giants though. That's not happening. Vikings.
Wait, is it in Dallas or is it in Minnesota?
I don't know. Oh, it's in Minnesota. So
So you guys are probably going to win that. We have a tendency. We win at your home. You guys have a tendency to win at our home. So
true.
I'll believe it or not, history
dictates the Vikings
that one to you guys
this year too.
Don't get my hopes up, man.
I
Don't
think
do that
they
to
will.
me.
Kansas City. I'm gonna have to take the L there.
Okay.
Chargers. I'll take the L there. I think Justin Herbert's gonna carve up the defense.
Yep. I think he's good.
Saints. I'm gonna take that W. I'm gonna take the W. Who's their quarterback?
Jameis or Taysom?
Yeah, if it's Taysom, I'll easily take that W. I have confidence that Jameis Winston, after being under Drew Brees with Sean Payton, I think he's gonna he's gonna win comeback player of the year. I hope.
Oh,
that's a big
I
call.
like that.
I love that.
I love that.
I hope
yeah.
so. I love Jameis Winston, and I really would like to see that. Buccaneers. Oh, good old Tom Brady. I will have to take the L there. I mean, they only got better. They only got better.
And stayed the same as champions.
God damn it.
Very hard to do.
Stayed the exact same. I mean, they even just signed AB, who, I mean, I think if he has a
Still
whole
AB.
season under his belt, he's
Yep.
going to be back.
That
Yeah.
full starting 22 from the Super Bowl, all signed and under contract, definitely for 2022, and a good chunk of them for beyond
Yeah.
2022.
Yeah, I mean, AB's nuts. We all know that,
Yeah.
but he's the real deal. He
Yep.
is the real deal.
All right, so I think those are all the games. You guys, you got them going 11-6, man.
11-6. Christian's
I'd say that's pretty fair. How do you have them going?
I mean, I would have them around, around the 9-8. I don't know if the double digits in the 17 season is going to be good. They're going to have to take time in the beginning to get back. And there are some games on that schedule, like you said, that are teetering with playoff teams that can make it, even if you guys wind up playing, the Saints and Jameis is ready and he's got games under his belt, like look out for him. He's got Michael Thomas and Kamara, the Kyler Murray, like you mentioned, that's a winnable game that could go either way. I would say nine wins for them would be fair.
I'd put them in around 9 too. I think your division, I think you guys are gonna have that weird one where I think almost everyone's gonna split with everyone. I think like that's like, I don't know why. I just feel like you guys are gonna have that home field. Like each team will just have their home field advantage. They'll win that game and then they'll lose the away game. I feel like that's gonna be the MO for you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, as a Cowboys fan, I kind of got to get my hopes up because as Stephen A. Smith says, the Cowboys always find a way to ruin it. They're just a disaster accident waiting to happen. He got to stay off the weed.
All right. So now we're just going to take some time, Christian, for you to ask us some questions that you've written for us.
You got any, man? It's okay if you don't.
I got a couple. I have some different ones. If you were able to play in the NFL, what position would you want to be and why?
Ooh, Sean, you want to go with that one?
Yeah, defensive line easily, man. I used to play defensive line and running back, which is a weird combo. Don't know why. When I did play, but I really loved the defensive line. My favorite at the time when you could legally do this, Michael Strahan, and was first move off the line was a little uppercut to the chin and the bottom to throw them off like this, and then he would sweep aside. So I took the Justin Tuck method when I played my nose tackle and would used to smack the center right up in there and then try to throw him to the side. So for me, definitely defensive line.
Yeah, for me, I always felt like I was always I always wanted to play a tight end, but I was never ever fast. That's something I would want to do where you kind of get gritty and go out for routes. You don't have to go super far, but you can still, once you get those short passes, you can truck people. That always intrigued me, a little Jason. I was thinking more Jeremy Shockey.
I was thinking Kyle Rudolph.
A little bit. But yeah, no, I mean, it's excited for me. I think that, there's a lot of versatility. You can play on the line, off the line. You have a bunch of responsibilities. You see the game a little bit differently, and you don't have to deal with a lot of cornerbacks. So not too much scrappiness.
Mismatches, man. Gotta love the mismatch.
Good answers.
Mismatch.
My second question, kind of similar question, but a little tricky actually. If you could not be a Giants or Vikings fan, what team would you choose to be your team? If you had no family history or anything with any team, what team who would be your team?
I'll let Jack go first, unless you don't got it. I know which one. It's kind of a true answer for me.
You go first. I got two I need to argue out of my head.
I would probably go Giants because I'm from New York. The only reason why I'm such a big Minnesota Vikings fan is literally my entire family on both my mom's and my dad's side is from Minnesota, and that's the one thing that they took with them. So I imagine growing up in New York, probably I don't want to be a Jets fan. They're a little bit they remind me of Eagles fans. They're really mean. I don't like that. Minnesota's super nice, so I'd go with the Giants fans because they're a little bit nicer. Even when I'm in my Minnesota Vikings gear, no one is taunting me, calling me a dickhead, telling me they're gonna kick my ass and stuff like that. So we're going with the Giants on that one.
But the Eagles kind of have the whole Broad Street Bullies. I'm a Cowboys fan, but I'm also a huge Flyers fan. So the Eagles kind of have that thing where they kind of are known for being dicks, and they have a reason. They actually have won stuff. The Jets, they haven't won anything.
They've won a championship. Without the Jets winning, we wouldn't have the common era NFL guys.
Forever, though.
Just
That's what
saying.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
No, you're
without
right.
the Jets, we wouldn't be where we are today with the NFL. Had they not won that Super Bowl, the biggest question mark was, could the NFL and AFL merger happen? Because the AFL at the time wasn't that good.
Yeah.
What did the Jets do with Broadway Joe? Called the win against the Colts and won, baby. So
That's big. I
Fair
mean,
point.
historically,
Fair
the
point.
Jets are a huge influential team on the common
I
era.
gotta throw some slander at
Yeah.
the Jets though. I had to.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I always kind of thought it was weird. I always kind of liked like the 49ers. Like I always liked the red color, but they always had a good solid the players that they had were always good, even when they weren't good. You know, I always liked Frank Gore and his running style. I really liked Alex Smith, how he wasn't like a huge thrower, but he never turned the ball over and he was able to do stuff with his feet. You know, I like that. They're always in a good I like their front office. You know, I love how Jed York runs this team. I like the people that they bring in. You know, I love when Jim Harbaugh was there. It was a lot of, pistol offenses with Kaepernick when he had him, a lot of, West Coast stuff with Alex Smith. And then you look at their history, you see like all the crazy stuff, when you're a kid watching documentaries about Jerry Rice, watching it about, Charles Haley going from the Cowboys to the 49ers, things like that, Roger Craig, all of that stuff, the catch. I thought that they had one of the most interesting histories to me, the 49ers. Like now that I just think about it on the spot, it was something, when I was younger, it was like my go-to Madden team, whether they were good or not. And like, I love Pat Willis, Justin Smith, all those legends that they have there. And they have a great team.
Navarro Bowman.
And Navarro Bowman, that was one of the best, Carlos Rogers, like shout out to all those guys. They were fantastic. And, the Giants played them in the playoffs. And I remember even thinking like, oh my God, like this is going to be so interesting. I love both of these teams. I loved Vernon Davis and Crabtree Bolt. Like that was the way for them back then. And I just loved that team.
Good
Yeah.
answers.
Yeah, what about you?
enjoy-
I'm curious as a Cowboys
Yeah.
fan, what's like your second team?
I would have to say so. If I wasn't influenced by my dad at all, I mean, obviously, reason why I am a Cowboys fan is my dad. And the Dolphins were actually one of his favorite teams also.
Yeah.
When he was growing up.
Don
So, but if I had to go into it right now, a team I would pick would be the Chargers. I would say the Chargers would be my favorite team. I mean, gotta love the powder blue jerseys, and I like their mentality. I think they're gonna be a good team. I like Derwin James, Justin Herbert, and I think they're gonna be good. So if I had to pick any, I don't know. I'd go with the Chargers. It's an interesting pick for myself, but I was
I
thinking
think
about it.
with Lord Danian Tomlinson, Phillip Rivers too, it's like you watch some classic Chargers stuff, you're only going to see like some real football. They always have had good players and like loyal players. So
Antonio Gates, one of the
Antonio
best tight ends
Gates.
to ever do it, undrafted, free.
I used to
at the time.
destroy Jack with him in Madden.
He did.
I love it. I love it. Look, that is all the time that we have today.
Got one more.
Oh, you got one more. All right.
One
I didn't
more.
know.
Rapid
I didn't
fire.
know. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
It does catch it.
Yes.
No. The ball had two bounces. Made
Oh, get
contact
outta
with the
here.
ball. He actually, the reach forward, it's a football move, but it's also supposed to, you're supposed to have the hand under the ball when you do
He
that.
did though.
He
No,
did. There's
he was-
pictures of his hand under it.
I mean, it's a tough thing. We'd have to sit here and break down the clip together, but I truly have gone through it thousands of times, and not even as a Giants fan, just as a football fan who hates the rules and hates the fact that they don't know what a catch is. I believe that he didn't have possession on that play.
I'm quite confident that he caught it. I won't lie. I've gone over it too. I'm pretty I would count that as a definite catch. I mean, doesn't matter. Packers would end up not even making the Super Bowl that year, so I was still content with the outcome of that. I'm not picking because I want the Packers to win. I did think that was a catch. I really thought that was a catch outright. I was surprised that they didn't rule it a catch then. I'm surprised that it's still to this day not
The most disappointing moment of a Cowboys fan in my life.
And there are plenty.
Yeah. I'm trying to think that's probably
Little, the Romo one in the playoffs was bad.
Yes, but this was like when I remember every moment of it. Of
I mean,
being like an adult.
Yeah.
that season seemed like they were gonna make some
Also-
magic happen, and
little Aaron Rodgers comeback, in the playoffs to Dak also doesn't help. But, like we said, they're trending upward next year. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They
This was
definitely
fun,
are.
boys. This was fun.
Yeah,
I'm glad I was able to beat everyone else out.
Yeah, congrats on winning, man.
Besides
Congrats,
Garrett,
Christian.
congratulations to Garrett too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Congrats, you guys
champions.
both. Yeah, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for talking a little bit of Cowboys and draft.
Oh,
Thanks
yeah.
for coming with some questions for us, man. We really appreciate it. Thank you everyone for
Definitely,
tuning
Christian.
in, for checking out this show. Hopefully everyone enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. And always remember to check us out, justsayingfootball.com, Just Saying Football on YouTube and Instagram, Just Saying No GWJS for all your video and article updates. Thank you again, Christian. Everybody enjoy the offseason. Thank you for listening.
And how about them Cowboys?
Nope. Enjoy.